3/4 of an acre in Raymond, Washington. My name's Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. What we do is we buy and sell raw vacant land. Our focus and our niche is, we're looking for unique and epic properties. So this one definitely fits a bill with views like this. It's really a beautiful property. This Raymond, Washington is in Pacific County. I'll pull it up on a map and show you where it's located. In this video, I'm going to talk about FAQs. I'm going to go over common questions. I'm going to show you how you can view a property like this, and some potential uses for the property and some next steps for those looking to invest in a buildable property or property you can build on that's got some amazing views down here in Raymond, Washington. So we're sitting here on a map, Seattle up to the north. Here's Olympia, Chehalis right here. So really you take Highway 6 over to Raymond, Washington, which is really close to Tokeland. This is a pretty cool, bay and area. Actually, I've actually been to this little Tokeland hotel. Really just, like I said, a cool area, kind of under the radar for Western Washington. Seabrook Ocean Shores. So Aberdeen's up here to the north on the 101. So Raymond's right off the 101, pretty popular highway. We know that across the Western United States, Western Washington, I should say. And so, South Bend, there's development, it's a town, right? So we're down here in Raymond, Washington. The property is located right here off Cowlitz Street, and there's actually street views. So if you're going to go view the property, you can put the neighbor's address in. It should be pretty easy to find. So I'll touch on that right now. For those looking to visit this property, it should be pretty easy to find. You can simply copy and paste the GPS coordinates into Google Maps. That's all I did there. Or you could put 718 Cowlitz Street into your GPS in Raymond, Washington, and you can see the views from this property right here. Here's the land. You can see it's sitting right here like that. Somebody's built on pretty similar property right there. You've got some really nice views, like I said, from this property. And nobody's building to the side of you. And across the street's another nice property with some good foliage. So power lines, you can see are right there at the street. That wouldn't be a concern of mine, running power to the property. This guy's got a really cool deck overlooking the bay. So again, it's got water views. Really a niche and kind of a special property for the area. I'd say it's one of a kind. I'd classify it as one of a kind. So let's touch on this property a little bit more. So the main focus is going to be either investment for this property. That's a target audience. I'm buying an investment in Raymond, Washington. We're going to have one of the most competitive prices out there. We buy and sell land pretty fast, so we're moving through inventory pretty quick. We're open to cash offers. We do offer seller financing as well. So if you're interested in the property, let's talk. Let's find a way to get something done. I want to touch on, development. So the previous owner must have had a geotech company. If you're from Washington, you know all about this language. Every property needs a geotech. There's so many hoops you got to jump through to build on a property, and that's going to be no matter what across Washington. But we talked to the county, and the main thing here is they want to see a complete geotech report. Right now, there's an incomplete report that exists, and the county is going to require a new one before building can begin. You can access the previous incomplete reports here. Not that they're going to do you a lot of good, probably, but they're incomplete, right? So get with a geotech company, with some testing and potentially, like, the county is going to let you know what you need to do and what you can and cannot do. If you're going to need supporting beams for your foundation, things like that. So in a state like Washington, especially a property like this, when you're looking at unique property that's kind of sitting on a ridge line almost like this, you're going to want a geotech to understand how your foundation is going to have to go. Do you need longer pillars in the ground? Just things of that nature, right? So again, to develop this property, city water and sewer is going to be available. Power is going to be right there. The main thing is getting a geotech to get a study done, make sure the soil is suitable for a home or a structure, and what kind of home and structure and what kind of building materials, right? That's the way I understand it, at least. There's probably going to be people more educated on the subject than I am. I'm the land specialist, right? So I'm just touching on the surface of development here for you. But you can see this is actually two legal lots. So this line splits the two properties. So the front half of this property is, all flat, looks pretty darn developable, at least from my viewpoint here. Is this is pretty good space to potentially develop on right here. This is a lot of acreage, at least a 1/4 acre right there. I do know in the back here, this is a geotech hazard is what they would call this. So it's a landslide hazard, I believe, is what the county calls it. And there's like stream and a creek running through back here, kind of towards the bottom of this property too. So, but we can see that on topography. This is almost a full acre. So, the way I understood it, or the way I see this property, the front area of this property, like where this person built, this is probably developable right along here. This back half is probably not going to be able to be developed, but it's pretty cool how this property sits up here on this plateau like that. And again, you do have street views to go look around at the bottom half of the property too, or I guess you don't of the bottom, but again, you can drop down and look at street views and kind of take a peek at the area. So we touched on utilities, we touched on development, what's going to need to be done. There are some steps you need to go through as a buyer to develop on this property, but we have that price, we have the property price with that in mind. So you as a buyer are going to have to verify all that information depending on what you want to build, why you're buying and all that good stuff. You as a buyer need to confirm this due diligence. I'm simply sharing what I learned from my due diligence. I want to leave the video with a disclaimer. We sell all of our property as is. You as a buyer, like I said, are going to need to complete your own due diligence, whatever you're comfortable with to purchase a land investment. We aren't going to complete the geotech for you. That's something that you'll have to talk to geotech companies about. So really nobody can say with any certainty if this is buildable or not until that geotech report is done. So I want to touch on that to make sure everybody's aware of that. From my opinion, from my standpoint, this property looks pretty darn developable. But again, you're going to need to go through the process and the steps to do it. We're in the 21st century. If you can't build in a traditional sense on this property, the county might work with you on some sort of other structure or maybe variances to make it developable or buildable. So like I said, the target audience of this property is going to be somebody that wants to build or somebody that's looking for a land investment they're going to sit and hold on to. So give us a call. I do have other properties in Washington. I've got one we're going to post in the Stehekin River here pretty soon. We buy some land up in Chelan County. We've got some property in Olympia. So give us a call, take a peek at the website. Let us know if you have any questions. You can reach us here at 605-299-5553. Thanks for tuning in.